On April the 13th, 2019, Armstrong Powerhouse and Master Key Simulations collaborated and released the Class 37 locomotive pack. This pack is designated as Volume 1 and focuses on refurbished Stroke 4, Stroke 5 and Stroke 7 subclasses from the 1980s to present day. It costs £24.99 and is available to download from AP's website. Ordered as part of British Rail's modernisation plan to replace steam trains, the Class 37s, known then as English Electric Type 3s, were designed and introduced between 1960 and 1965. A total of 309 locomotives were produced by both English Electric and Robert Stephenson and Hawthorns. Despite all members of the build now being well over 50 years of age, several locomotives are still registered for mainline use, undertaking a variety of passenger, freight and departmental duties. A handful of locos have also been preserved. The external model of the Class 37 looks fabulous, with the fixtures and fittings being modelled with a good eye for detail. The textures are high in quality and there's additional weathering. The pack also features numerous external differences for all 129 of the refurbished locomotives. Additionally, the 37-4s feature nameplates that have been modelled in full 3D. In the winter season, snow will also cling to the bogies, adding to the charm. This pack features the following liveries: BR Blue, large logo, Rail Freight, Train Load, Intercity Mainline, Intercity Swallow, Regional Railways, Transrail, Mainline, Load Haul, EWS, West Coast Railway Company, Direct Rail Services, DB Schenker, Colas Rail and Europhoenix, also known as the Rail Operations Group. Internally, there are two main cab variants, one with a national radio module, the other with an additional GSMR unit. Additionally, there are 9 further variants with minor differences. These variants include data recorders, train length button, electric train heating, Sandite and a non-functional RETV unit. In my opinion, I find that the detailing of the cab is very much on par with the Class 205 pack. The instruments and controls are fully detailed, and the cab sports internal weathering, which demonstrates wear and tear. Internal lighting also looks very natural. One of the major features of this pack is that the Class 37 features a cold and dark start procedure. The procedure begins with inserting the master key and putting the train into engine only. After a minute or so, fire up the engine and hold down the button until the light extinguishes. Look out for the copious amount of smoke on the external view as the train warms up. Next, check the battery ammeter to make sure there is a positive charge and test the fire alarm. Moving on to the brakes, press and hold R to lift the handle and press the colon key to bring the brakes from the shutdown position to full service. You will then have to build up approximately 80 psi in the main reservoir. The last step is to release the handbrake by turning the wheel in an anti-clockwise direction until it can turn no more. Once this is done, the 37 is ready to move. The sounds for the Class 37 were recorded from 37674 on the Wensleydale Railway in North Yorkshire. the same unit used for the Bavaria Line's Class 37. The sounds have been repurposed but substantially upgraded, the train featuring more details such as pronounced traction motor whine, cooling fan, and even the sound of a speedometer. Because this is an entirely new model, you can of course open up the windows to listen to the external sounds from the cab, which adds to the sense of movement. The train sounds just as good on the outside as it does from the inside. A thundery bass, coupled with the iconic growling sound of the engine, brings the loco to life. The 37 sounds just as powerful in the simulator as it does in reality. Once again, Richard has done an excellent job in translating these sounds to the simulator, and I find these sounds to be the best representation yet. In terms of physics, custom scripting allows for the train to perform much closer to its real-world counterpart. The train has field divert, which maximises the acceleration as the train gains speed. On this locomotive, field divert occurs at 20 and 35 miles an hour. The turbocharger will briefly rise in response to the load being increased on the engine. There is also a delay in response when power has been applied and removed. The Class 37 is fitted with a Westinghouse dual brake system, which implements both air and vacuum brake modes. It also includes timings for passenger and freight loadings. The Westinghouse brake features positions at shutdown, emergency, full service, service, first application, running and release. This particular position is sprung loaded. The separate locomotive brake is also available. Other functions include functioning automatic warning system, driver reminder appliance, vigilance device, national radio and GSMR equipment. Slow speed control has also been implemented, in which the train can be driven at walking pace. This proves very useful in locations where speed is severely restricted. Another nice touch is that the radio antenna vibrates when the train is in motion, and like the 205, the body rolls independently, as opposed to the game's camera, which tries to simulate this aspect by default. Flies and bugs will also occasionally spatter the windscreen, which can be cleared off with a windscreen wiper. The train also features wheel slip protection and wheel slide, which will add to the challenge of driving in damp rail conditions. The likelihood of you encountering this is dependent on the seasons and the weather. The cherry on top of this enormous cake has to be the clag factor, where you can define how effective the loco's exhaust fumes are on a scale of 1 to 10. The clag factor can be activated with a combination of Shift and C and Control and C respectively. On a factor of 10, I think that the Class 37 has some of the best exhaust effects in the game so far. There are 6 scenarios included with this pack: 3 for Crewe to Holyhead, and 3 for Bristol to Swansea. They are set at different times of day and test you in various weather conditions. If you want to run the included scenarios for this particular train, be warned that the required stock to make scenarios run as intended is quite big. If you are willing to overlook the included scenarios, however, without a doubt this is by far the best version of the Class 37 available for Train Simulator. It looks good, it sounds awesome, and is packed with many features that make it stand out from its first-party equivalent. If you like to drive a proper old diesel locomotive on a variety of services, then it is wholeheartedly recommended. Thanks for watching this review. Please feel free to rate and comment down below. If you would like to keep up to date on the videos that I post, why not subscribe and ring YouTube's notification bell so you don't miss an update. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching and take care.